Karim Benzema. Karim Benzema. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry I'm so late for this live stream, but I just could not take my eyes off the Champions League. I had to make a review on it. What a game! I don't care. It's sad. I'm a United fan. You've got no right to love. You support United. All the City fans are saying, but it's not a Man City Liverpool final. And frankly, that's all I care about. I'm going to apologise for the sort of light because it's late. So I'm in the room with the bad lighting, so I don't wake mother up. And I can't actually look at my screen. The lighting's triggering me. But we are going to get into the news, guys. We've got Nkunku, we've got Neves. We got Laimer, we've got loads and loads of stories to get into, but we have to talk. I'm sorry, like if you come for the transfer news, just give me 5 minutes, yeah. But we just have to talk about the Champions League, guys. I mean, just get in the live chat. Get in the live chat. I absolutely jinked it. I went, do you know what's happened? I'm not even lying. Do you know what happened? Is basically I went downstairs for a drink of water 89 minutes in. I thought City 5-3 up in aggregate. I tweeted all English final, well, proves the Prem's the best. Honestly, I was so salty. 89 minutes. I go downstairs for a drink of water, fill up my drink, chit chat. I go up and I look at the screen. I'm like, what the fuck? They've just scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. I thought, no. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It's absolute madness. I mean, the jinx. You know what? I was Benzema, Rodrigo. You know what? Do you know how sad that is, though, as a United fan, that is the highlight of our season. I do think it's a bit sad as a United fan that is the highlight of our season. But you know what? It's actually positive. You know, this is probably the best week we've had all season as a Man United fan, and I'm not even lying. Good game against Brentford. Ten Hag coming in, Matt Judge getting sacked, and Man City bottling it like that. You know, all I'm going to say is, you know, it's got to be the best week we've had in a while as a United fan. And I just found a meme here. I'm going to share my screen because the fucking lighting is pissing me off, guys. So we literally just found the first meme we could, but I thought there's a meme for you just to get the screen bigger because I don't know, the lines here are annoying me. But Jack Grealish, £100 million. What are we saying? 100 million for Jack Grealish, man? It's mad. It's absolutely mad. Alice, I met Varane, Tellers and Fred and Hannibal today and they were so nice, but I saw Bruno and couldn't get a pic with him. He was in a rush. I saw Rashford, but he played it and he ignored us. Big up to you. Is that a DJ set time? It probably is. I'm on cloud 9 being a Real Madrid fan, the magic of the Bernabeu. I'm sorry. Oh, what a game. You know, the fight in Real Madrid is unbelievable. As Andrew said, they were outplayed for most of it. Yeah, they were. The thing is, Chelsea outplayed Real Madrid, City outplayed Real Madrid, and Real Madrid, Karim Benzema, Rodrigo, Ancelotti and vibes, guys. You know what? Fair play to Real Madrid. You cannot write them off. And I had Pep thought 5-3 up, 10 minutes to go. De Bruyne off, you off, bish bash bosh. City's to get a refund for Grealish. City thought they were through. I thought City was through. I was fucking fuming. I was making plans for the Champions League final. I was like, no. And then I was like, I mean, it is a fantastic game. We've got lots of United shit to talk about and all of that, and we will talk about that. Your team is 6th, cheering City losing when Liverpool win the quarter. Yeah, I know, it's a sad life. But I'm going to enjoy this moment because we've had such a season. I'm going to enjoy this moment. So, and you have to admit, Man City are the biggest Champions League bottlers ever. You know what? We are bullying Grealish because he's 100 million. But let's be real. The amount of chances Man City missed in that first leg, the amount of chances Man City missed in that second leg, you know, it's not on Grealish, especially that first leg as well. And I want to say something about the game because I want to talk about United. Camavinga, man, is mint. He is. Camavinga. When I was preaching about Camavinga in the summer, saying United are in for Camavinga, but it'll probably go Real Madrid. You know, Camavinga last year is how I feel about Tchouaméni right now. We, as United fans, Tchouaméni cannot go Real Madrid. Imagine Tchouaméni and Camavinga for the next 10 years. Real Madrid will dominate the UCL. We need to get Tchouaméni. I wish we got Camavinga because this guy was madness. Toni Kroos is a good player, but Camavinga was like, Rodrigo was like, boof. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely baller. And you know what? I wish we got match. You know what? I'm glad Camavinga went to Real Madrid because he stopped he stopped Man City getting to a final, and Pep Guardiola is sweating, and you've got to laugh, you've got to enjoy it and all of that. In today's show, we won't just be going on about the Champions League. Of course, we're going to banter Man City. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? But Manchester United have been linked to Ndicka, or Ndicka. It's a bit of a weird name, but I don't know how you pronounce it. Man United have been linked to this young centre-back that's 21, 22, 20 million euros, 80 million pounds playing in the Bundesliga. We'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about what kind of player it is. I was meant to do a bit of research before this live stream on this player that we've been linked to. Didn't get around to doing the research because of freaking Real Madrid making it such a good game. Football is the best sport in the world. You know, football is. Not that shit American football with the egg. Football is. We're also going to be talking about some news about Ten Hag, what Ten Hag's plans are, some United plans. We're going to be talking about Jesse Lingard as well. Jesse Lingard, how dare United not give me a send-off? Well, we didn't give Van Persie a send-off, mate. More news on Mitchell van der Gaard, more news on Nkunku, more news on a guy called Christopher Baumgartner, who apparently is of interest for Manchester United and Liverpool. Wan-Bissaka leaving, Bailly leaving news, and also Conrad Laimer, the CDM, who's out of contract next year, could also be going Manchester United bound. So, we will be talking about that later in the show. And then even reports that Paul Pogba could stay. There's only one club in Manchester that's won the Champions League, and it's not Man City. Smash a like that Man United is still the only club in Manchester for Champions League, and that's all we're holding on to this season as well. And as Diego said, guys, only 30 likes for 100 likes. So smash a like if you're happy that Man City got knocked out. And Tchouaméni will come to Man United because, well, there is Camavinga. Yeah, but imagine Modric, Kroos, they're Asian. Tchouaméni and Camavinga is that perfect replacement for Modric and Kroos when you think about it as well. Rio didn't get a send-off, Van Persie didn't get a send-off and all of that. And Andrew said he's never seen Ndicka play, but reports suggest that he's super tall, pacey, and up and coming. I've seen him play a little bit in the Europa League, I think it's him. Oh God! But I'm aware that he's a decent centre back. I haven't really done my research as well. But Champions League, what a loss! Should have got Camavinga in the summer. Camavinga chose correct. Look at his domestic and European season compared to ours. You know what? Fair play to Camavinga. Absolute fair play to Camavinga for going to Real Madrid, because if it was at United, McTominay would be starting over him and he wouldn't get any game time. Even though he's better than McTominay, we can't let go of the McTominay obsession. We've got news to talk about though. Ten Hag wants 8 players. Nkunku, when we talk about Nkunku, we've been linked to. It's been confirmed. It's been 100% confirmed. Nkunku is a Manchester United target. And Di Marzio said a few days ago that Nkunku would prefer United to PSG, and it's between PSG and United for Nkunku. And Nkunku's more likely to choose us. We've obviously got RANGNICK links with the RB clubs as well. So we're going to talk about Nkunku, who can play right wing and striker and could be that perfect role for United as a striker. And maybe you'd argue Man City will be looking for a striker today, but they're obviously going to get Haaland. We're going to be looking at the cheap Ten Hag players, and also Lingard as the leaker. I want to say it's very obvious Jesse Lingard is the leaker. Back to Manchester United news. I think it's very, very obvious that Jesse Lingard is the leaker. Man City become the Spurs in the Champions League semis. The thing is, Man City bowled a Champions League to Spurs as well. But Man City are the fucking biggest bottlers ever. Bottle FC. They should be called Manchester Bottlers, not Manchester City, Manchester Bottlers. We're Manchester United, although we don't play very United at the moment. They are Manchester Bottlers. Lingard to Ballerina. Final will be massive. I think it's also because we're fed up of I'm so fed up of Man City, Liverpool. Even if I wasn't a United fan, I think Madrid, Liverpool such more of an exciting final, because when it is 2 English teams in the final, it's just not as exciting. You want the big Spanish club and the big English club to play, because the biggest club in the world is Real Madrid, followed by Barcelona, followed by United, followed by Liverpool. Man City are 20th. So I also think that a Real Madrid-Liverpool Champions League final is obviously a lot more exciting as well. Guys, please do hit that like button. Please do subscribe down below if you're new. I did just want to waffle about the Champions League and all that, and we will talk a bit about Champions League, because although I've got lots to get into, I'm mesmerised. I'm absolutely mesmerised. But I know what I was going to get up. I know what's going to get up, guys. I want to show you my tweet that's pissed off a few people. Have a look at this. So I tweeted. Look at my meltdown on Twitter. Okay. I was saying, I had this meltdown on Twitter. This was literally just before Benzema scored. This was 2 minutes before Benzema scores. I am the perfect jinx, not Benzema. Fucking Rodrigo. What am I about? This is 2 minutes before Real Madrid score. I'm perfect jinx. That's all I'm saying. I'm having this meltdown as well. I'm having a massive meltdown. going, not going to watch the UCL final, worst UCL season ever. I've got to delete that. That's an awful. It's not the worst. It's not the worst. You got to delete that. But yeah, I was having a bit of a meltdown, as you can see. But where is my tweet that's rattled loads of people today? Here it is. Here it is. This is news. It's just, I'm going to show one of my tweets. But this here, look at that. Average Etihad attendance, 47,000. Man United Youth Cup is sold over 48,000 tickets. Might as well kick Man City when we're down. We might as well. It's a bit of banter and all of that. Might as well kick Man City when we're down. I'm always bantering City on Twitter. The thing is, I don't think there's many Man City fans, but actually on Twitter, you realise there is more Man City fans than we think. Because as soon as I tweet about Man City, you get people biting and biting and biting in the comments. Absolutely fucking love it. Absolutely fucking love it. I honestly think Klopp will win the quadruple. City to win the league, Real Madrid to win the Champions League, Chelsea to win the FA Cup, and Liverpool, you can walk away in second place with your measly Carabao Cup because it's the shittest trophy of them all. You know what? That will be the perfect end of the season. Yes, I'm a bitter Manchester United fan. Yes, we're shit. And yes, I'm absolutely enjoying for the life of me. Ooh, Benzema. We have got to give Benzema the Ballon d'Or as well. But Alice always on the Twitter banter as well. You commented on that tweet. I think you did, to be fair. I saw one of your comments on my tweets. And I'm going to the Youth Cup final. How are you guys feeling about the Youth Cup final? Actually, banter away from Man City. I'm going to do a watch along for the Youth Cup final. I think it's in a couple of days. It's in like a week or so. It's next Wednesday, the Youth Cup final? I feel like it's on a Wednesday, but I will do a watch along for the Manchester United Nottingham Forest Youth Cup final. I think that'll be a really, really exciting game. First Youth Cup final in years. You've got Garnacho, you've got Mejbri, you've got Shulashulotiri, you've got Kobe Mainoo, you've got Alvaro Fernandez. Manchester United have their arguably most exciting youth side in years. I mean, it's the first time we've been in the Youth Cup final since 2011, so I think that argues it's our most exciting youth side. Charlie McNeil, Joe Hugo. There's so many names. Like, you know, with Man United Youth Cup sides, we've always had good youth players, but there's so many talent. Marc Sherrado, I think, is really good as well, and he's a player that is not that heard of because we signed Marc Sherrado and Alvaro Fernandez, that one window that both came from Spain. We've got Garnacho from Atletico Madrid, and all those sort of Spanish players that we signed have done well. And I have to say, one thing that United have done well in recent years is getting the right youth players. I think that's the one place we haven't gone wrong in recent years, is getting those youth players in and through, because you know, first team recruitment's been shit. Let's be honest, first team recruitment's been shit. But since Van Gaal's come in, the development in the youth academy, some of the players that we've had sort of coming through and currently coming through, I think are definitely the most exciting. We've got 160 people watching, guys, so please do hit that like button if you haven't already. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more, smash the subscribe. I go live every single evening. I will be live tomorrow night with some more news and all of that as well. And Pep will be begging for fans again. Oh my God, you know what's really funny about Man City is they'll be asking fans to come to games now. Youth Cup final was April 30th, but it got moved, Steve, as well. But into the Manchester United news, into a little bit of the news. And I fucking hate the lighting in this room, so I'm just going to keep my screen share for the whole stream. But Jesse Lingard is definitely the Manchester United leaker. If you're on Twitter, if you're on just the football social media space in general, I'm sure you've seen about 8 different journalists give the same briefing on Jesse Lingard. When something is happening with Jesse Lingard, the fact that all the journalists that report in the leaks, I know Jesse Lingard's the leaker. I'm not saying he's the only leaker. I think Bailly could be involved. But, okay, this is me. Jesse Lingard absolutely has exposed himself today. Jesse Lingard's 100% exposed himself today. Because when all the leaks were coming out, it was coming out by the same English journalists. The same English journalists were coming out with the same leaks. Which English journalists are briefing us that Jesse Lingard's going to leave no matter what Ten Hag says? I don't give a fuck, Jesse. Ten Hag ain't going to keep you. Let's be honest. You're 29. You're not going to be part of the rebuild. I think the club's treating you poor, Jesse. I feel sorry for you, but you need to stop moaning and being bitter about it and leaking stuff. Let's be honest. But the fact that, you know, every single journalist that was reporting the leaks has been briefed on Jesse Lingard leaving the club, and he's not going to stay, even if Ten Hag wants him to stay. All the journalists reporting the leaks are now reporting the Jesse Lingard thing, and it's the exact same people saying the exact same thing. And it's very clear that those stories must have come to Jesse Lingard, because the coincidence between these stories going out about what Jesse Lingard wants and Jesse Lingard leaving is exactly the same as the leaks, the coincidence between journalists. And I think Jesse Lingard, I mean, Paul Scholes has exposed Jesse Lingard as being the leaker. Jesse Lingard, if Paul Scholes hadn't said that, I would have thought, oh, this guy's probably the leaker, considering that all these journalists are telling us that he's leaving and all these journalists were telling us about the leaks. I think Jesse Lingard's absolutely done himself. exposed himself as one of the leakers for Manchester United. Although I think we're kind of aware of that. I think you could guess it. Just who's been treated the worst this season? Lingard. Stopped him going to West Ham, promised him game time, didn't play him. Bruno was playing shit. Lingard subbed on, played well, still didn't play him. At the last minute, we stopped him going to Newcastle. We treated Lingard like shit. Yes, Lingard has every reason to feel mistreated by Manchester United, be angry and annoyed, but he shouldn't be sending out dressing room leaks. And I think, Lingard's got, being cop detective Alice here, but I think Lingard would have the what's the word? Is it motivation? What do they use? Well, no, it's not motivation. What do they use? Not alibi. When someone commits a crime and they go, there's like a reason behind. What's the word? When someone commits a crime and not that he's committed a crime, and they have like a reason. What's the freaking word? Oh, that's gonna really annoy me. But Jesse Lingard has like a reason to, leak stuff to United. He's been the most annoyed. He's not been playing. He's obviously doesn't have a good relationship with RANGNICK. RANGNICK giving Jones a testimonial, not Lingard. Scholes saying that Lingard's been telling him shit, and that the coincidence between the leaks now and the Jesse Lingard thing. Motive, that is the word. I can't believe that word just slipped out of me. But yeah, Jesse Lingard has the motive to be doing the leaks. And yeah, I think Jesse Lingard's kind of exposed himself today as the leakers. And look, I do quite like Jesse Lingard, but I think that it's very good that Jesse Lingard does not stay at Manchester United. I think Manchester United need to definitely move past this Jesse Lingard affair. He's nearly 30. He is past it. Jesse Lingard, let's be honest, he is past it. And yeah, why is this video's just got demonetized? Why is this video just got demonetized? What have I done that's not ad friendly, YouTube? Seriously, don't get YouTube sometimes. I was just checking my video and it just said it's demonetized and all of that. But yeah, I think Jesse Lingard's got the motive, as you guys would say, to be the leaker. And as I said, there's been numerous reports that Jesse Lingard will leave Manchester United even if Ten Hag wants him to stay. And everyone's screaming motive in the chat, like motive. But Cop Alice has figured out Lingard has a motive. Paul Scholes has outed Lingard as a potential leaker. Gary Neville said the club know who the leaker is, and the fact that Gary Neville didn't expose the leaker and maybe the leaker was English, because English players are very protected by the media. And then obviously Lingard telling all the journalists that he's leaving, and it's the same journalists that are repeating the leaks at the same time. Leaker Lingard, Jesse Lingard. I tell you what, Jesse Lingard, he's a bit of a social media guy, and he's always posting leaks on his story that he eats. Jesse Lingard, and Jesse Lingard has changed. The United has treated him shit, but no excuse for leaking and all of that. Come on, Newcastle, says Alex Court. Guys, smash a like, smash a subscribe. We are also 30 subscribers away. We are 30 subscribers away from 34.5k. So if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. Lingard out, Hannibal in, Rashford out, Garnacho in. I think that's something that a lot of fans want to see. I don't know if the youth players will be involved against Brighton on Saturday, because even though there's not really anything to play for, I think because of the FA Youth Cup, I'm not sure if we're going to really see Garnacho and Mejbri involved. We do know now that Garnacho, Hannibal Mejbri, Alvaro Fernandez and Shola Shatiri have all started training with the first team. And RANGNICK obviously spoke about Garnacho and how he's a good player and how he just needs to get up to the pace of the first team and all of that. Andrew said he always felt Lingard was overrated. He had a few good bumps here and there and lived off them for years. What I do want to talk about with players like Lingard and Rashford and a lot of Manchester United youth players is, and we've all done this. I think, someone said, I saw this on Twitter, someone said, Lingard and Rashford had the ego of Neymar, but the ability of Welbeck or something. Now, I think there's a good player in Rashford, and I think Lingard had some good spells. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to them. But I think the problem with United, and I've just been overhyping all our youth academy players, going Garnacho, Mejbri, Hugo, and all of that. We all do it. We all overhype our youth academy players. Every club does it. You've got to do it. You've got to back your youth. You've got to get excited about them. I'm literally bumming off Garnacho all the time. I'm like the commentators with Liverpool on the TV. Oh, Liverpool, that's amazing, Klopp, Liverpool. That's me with Garnacho, yeah. But I think, we've given Rashford and Jesse Lingard and a lot of players at Man United egos that maybe they're better than they are. Like the ego of someone that Neymar would have, but they've got the ability of Danny Welbeck. Because, if you look at United and you look at the problems this season, it's players blaming each other. Whenever we lose, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's his fault. It's his fault. Putting blame elsewhere. Whenever Ronaldo criticises a player, they seem to get pissed off with Cristiano Ronaldo for criticising them. Like Manchester United players, and I'm going to say this has been the English players, because the English players are the only ones that really talk to the pundits. Rio said it, Gary said it. Manchester United players have literally asked the pundits to stop criticising them. Man United players have literally asked the pundits to stop criticising them after they put in stinker after stinker after stinker of performance. They still ring out the pundits going, no, don't criticise me, don't criticise me. We hear reports going out that Ronaldo's fallen out with this player, Ronaldo's fallen out with this player because Ronaldo was criticising him and he can't take criticism. United, we fed, and it's not just us, it's not just the fan base. Of course, we overhype our players, but you know, the PR, the social media, the club, hyping them up online. Jesse Lingard, oh, I'm so sick now. I've got my merch, Jailings. You know, really, I can't even do the Jailings. Really embracing the, you know, United really, you know, we gave our players egos. I always feel like Lingard, Rashford, a lot of our players, especially the British ones, the youth academy ones, the blingy ones, we've given them the egos and we've almost made them feel like they were Neymar. When Rashford was playing well, we were comparing him to Mbappe. Like that we were. Obviously, I always knew Mbappe was better, and a bit of it was jokes. But we've given United players these sort of egos, and actually, when they're not playing well, because we're giving them these egos to think that they're as good as Neymar, and when they start playing like Danny Welbeck, they can't take it. They don't think it's their fault because they think, well, I'm not bad, you know. I have to say as well, guys, smash a like, do subscribe as well. United should loan most of them out and to Scotland to toughen them up for reality check. You know what? Scottish League is tough. I will say that. Although just fucking Celtic are fucking winning it all the time. Although Rangers did have one good year, and I always have hope for our youth, but realistically, number-wise and fraction of them will only generally make it. I agree. I think McNeil's a baller. I think Alvaro Fernandez a baller. I think Kobe Maino's a baller. I think Garnacho's a baller. And I think Hannibal Mejbri's a baller. I also think James Garner's a baller. I've named 6 youth players I think are fucking good. Okay. But I think 1 or 2 of them will probably make it. I think all 6 of them are potentially Premier League players. You know, but the Premier League, the intensity from under 18s, under 23s to the Premier League is insane. You know, send them to the Bundesliga, and I think it would be quite good. You know, just the Bundesliga tax, man. I was thinking, like, Jovic was on the. I was just thinking this today, actually. Jovic was on the bench for Real Madrid today, and I thought, remember when we wanted Luka Jovic at United? Luka Jovic had got, I think, 40 goal contributions at age 21 in the Bundesliga and across the Europa League. Luka Jovic, and he goes to Real Madrid, and he can't even get a game, and he's been shite for 3 seasons. You know, it's not just, you know, Werner. I think Werner's a good player. Werner comes to the Premier League, can't put up the same numbers. Sancho comes to the Premier League, can't put up the same numbers. Havertz comes to the Premier League, can't put up the same numbers. Jovic goes to Real Madrid, can't put up the same numbers. There is a bit of a Bundesliga tax, I've noticed. And talking with the Nkunku links, I am a bit like, Nkunku's numbers are fucking insane. I will get Nkunku's numbers up. They're absolutely fucking insane. But I'm like, is this a bit of Bundesliga tax? This is a bit of Bund tax, as you say. As well, I did think that, and I think maybe with our youth players, I think as a young player, the Bundesliga loan would be a good loan for experience. Like obviously Sancho and Bellingham weren't loans. Emil Smith-Rowe went there. I just think, you know, we should be sending our players, if we can't get them Prem loans, to the Championship or the Bundesliga. To be fair, as well. People go on about Dylan Levitt as well. He has the skills. I can almost guarantee he won't make it. I really like Dylan Levitt, but yeah, I don't think he's going to make it. Aberdeen got a few young players worth looking at. I'm not familiar with Aberdeen, but I'm sure they do. And what I will say about Manchester United and our transfer strategy this year is it seems that Manchester United are not going to be going for big names. They're going to be looking at under the radar players. So we've got Ivan and Ndicka that we've been linked to. And Ndicka and Dick. Ooh, you could make a few innuendos about that name, but the Frankfurt centre-back Ivan and Ndicka, who's quite pacey, quite tall. You know, he's a good player from what I've seen. He's French as well. And, you know, there's something about a French player where they just have that flair. And they're going to get hyped up by Martial and Paul Baresi, but I do like a French player as well. Not that really matters. I don't care what your nationality is. Just, by the way, I don't want you to think I'm a fan that would only like a player if he's English. No, I don't care. I was just saying that. But Ndicka is one of the players that we've been linked to. 20 million euros. He is 22. He's been playing every game in the Bundesliga this season for Frankfurt. Obviously, they've been involved in the Europa League as well. I'm not going to lie, I've seen him play about twice. Obviously, we've only been linked to him today. So when I've watched Frankfurt in the Europa League, I've not really kept an eye on him. So when I do watch Frankfurt West Ham tomorrow, and I hope he plays, I'm assuming he's going to play tomorrow, I will keep an eye on Ndicka and give you my thoughts on him. But it's very clear that Man United, this transfer window, the moves they want to be doing are players like Ndicka, maybe someone like Timber from Ajax, cheaper moves. You know, Timber and Ndicka are the 2 centre-backs that we've been linked to. £20 million moves, young players, 20, 22, step up. Spence from Nottingham Forest. Wan-Bissaka is clearly going to go. I think United want to get rid of Wan-Bissaka. I think Wan-Bissaka wants to go. I think Ten Hag doesn't want Wan-Bissaka. So if Wan-Bissaka stays, it will be us fucking about in the transfer window. So we've been linked to players like Spence. Obviously, Tyrone Malachi of Feyenoord, the left-back. And who was it? I got it on my phone because I screenshotted it. Someone left a really good comment on my video. And like, sorry I haven't been replying to many comments on the short videos lately, but I screenshotted it. Yeah, someone left a really good comment on my video the other day. It was by a guy called Cavalcade, who is a member. Big up Cavalcade. He said this about Erik ten Hag's recruitment. He said, a couple fullbacks with agility and stamina is critical. If Ten Hag does not get them, he might as well stay in Holland. Guys like Frimpong and Malacia would transform the whole system, but most of all, a dozen pieces of junk need to be tossed out. And I thought this was a really good comment on one of my videos. He talked about how fullbacks, although, you know, CDM and striker is priority, fullbacks, you know, because of the way Erik ten Hag plays, would actually transform his whole system. And actually, it's really important that Erik ten Hag gets fullbacks. And he also said we need to go with a lot of players. And I thought that was a very good comment, because I think, you know, it's very clear that United's three priorities are striker, CDM, centre back. Romano said it. Everyone said it. Everyone reliable said United want a striker, they want a CDM, they want a centre back. Okay, centre back Timber, 30 million. Okay. CDM, Tchouaméni, 50 million, that's 80 million. Striker, Nunes, 50 million, that's 130 million. We've now got 20 million left of the 150 million budget. What could 20 million get us? That could get us Tyrone Malachi. Timber could also play right back as well if we got Tyrone Malachi, and that would be 150 million on a centre back, technically a centre back, right back, a left back, a CDM, and a striker. There's obviously Spence from Nottingham Forest. There's Wan-Bissaka on the way out. I think it's very clear that maybe a fullback refresh is needed at Manchester United because of the way Ten Hag plays. His fullbacks are very integral to his style of play. And I think although striker, CDM, and centre-back is very needed, with Bailly going, with Jones going, the centre-back will be needed, with Wan-Bissaka going, the right-back will be needed. You know, and CDM's obviously needed, and with obviously no Cavani, no Martial. Martial's gone next season, by the way. No Cavani, no Martial. Greenwood won't play again, and Ronaldo maybe go, and we'll need a striker. And Man United might, and if Ronaldo goes, United will go into this transfer window needing two strikers, a right winger, two midfielders, a right back, a centre back, and some competition for Luke Shaw, because fucking Tellers is shy and all of that. I'm going down, I'm yelling Timber. I really want us to get Timber. I think Timber's a baller, and why I'm a big fan of Timber to United. And United have held talks with Timber. There definitely is something in Timber to Man United, by the way, guys. And why I'm a massive fan of this is because Timber would only be like 25 million. I think he's being quoted at. He's 20 years. He's 20 years of age. Like, that is young. That is. I mean, Saka's 20. Elanga's 20. 20 is young, and I think Timber is an absolutely brilliant player. I've been really impressed when I've watched Jurien Timber play. Not watched him play loads, but he can play right back. He can play centre back. I think you need that. You need someone who can cover full back. I think you kill two birds with one stone, because I think United, where we do need a right back, it's not number one priority. So if you had Dalot and Timber as your right back options for a season, we can make do with that until the second transfer window, where we can focus on getting the right back we wanted. I think he's you know, Jules Koundé, he's a good player, but he's quite pricey. What's the guy's name? Pau Torres again. Pau Torres is a good player. I do like Pau Torres, but I just don't think he complements Varane. I don't think he's what we need, and he was second option to Varane last season. There's not many real reasons for going into Pau Torres. So for me, I think Jurien Timber would probably be the most exciting move that Manchester United could make as well. Who's Van Dijk? I was just saying the Frankfurt guy reminds me a little bit of Van Dijk. That was all. The next Van Dijk, just, you know, aesthetic appeal for the thumbnail and all of that as well. Underrated part about Laimer is he's absolutely rapid. Pace adds a different dynamic to midfield. See Valverde, Camavinga, Tonali, etc. I haven't watched a Laimer play, but I'm going to assume you're correct on that. But I will say about Laimer, CDM, RB Leipzig, been a decent CDM the last few years. Midfielder CDM, I would take him. With Laimer having like 1 year left on his contract, I'd be happily spending 20-30 million on someone like Laimer than 60 million on the Carbon Phillips that's going to be 27, that's absolutely injury prone. If you want my honest opinion, I don't know if you guys feel about it. I will say, I think it's a bit strange, you know, that we haven't been linked to Basuma a lot. Does anyone else think that? I always think that's a bit strange, but I really like Laimer, actually, from the sounds of it. I've watched him play about twice this season. I've watched him play more than twice overall. I haven't kept much eye on RB Leipzig because they went out of the Champions League like that. But although I remember Nkunku versus City. Didn't Nkunku get a hat-trick versus Man City, or am I imagining that? I swear Nkunku got a hat-trick versus Man City. I swear that was the one who got a hat-trick. But look, from RB Leipzig, Ralf Rangnick knows the players. He has a good relationship with them. With Laimer, 1 year left on his deal. He's not English, so he won't be ridiculously expensive. I would rather have Laimer than Carbon Phillips at Man United. I will say that now. I'd much rather have Laimer than Carbon Phillips Andrew says Laimer is tenacious pressing, box to box. You can play as a DM as well as underrated pace. And, you know, we need a box to box. We need a DM. You can do a bit of both as well. Bellingham will be going to Liverpool. Liverpool just going to get stronger and stronger. Diaz, unbelievable. Diaz has been absolutely fantastic for Liverpool. I mean, what a signing Diaz has been. It makes me mad. It makes me mad because Liverpool have the best recruitment in the Premier League. We can't argue with that. Man City 100 million Grealish, Sancho 73 million, Lukaku 100 million. Man City, Chelsea, and United all spent big money on attacker. Diaz was like half the price, comes in twice as good. Diaz is done more than Lukaku and Sancho, who I love, and I think Sancho's had good spells, and Grealish combined, and Diaz has been half the price. Like Liverpool get everything spot on with recruitment, and why the fact that Tchouaméni want Liverpool, so it's the fact that Liverpool want Tchouaméni makes me want to get them more, because I'm like, if Liverpool are interested in a player, then they're just going to be a good player, because Liverpool just don't get misses. Mane, Firmino, Salah. I mean, even Keita's grown into a better player now. He's a bit iffy at first. Van Dijk, Liverpool's recruitment, man, is mad. And Liverpool will get Bellingham, and I really hope Liverpool do not put Tchouaméni. Look, Romano said it's likely to be between United and Liverpool for Tchouaméni, with Arsenal also interested, as Di Marzio said. So, you know, Tchouaméni could go to Real Madrid, but reports and suggestions said that Tchouaméni is now Premier League bound and actually rather be in the Premier League than Real Madrid. We'll have to wait and see, and that it could be between Liverpool, United, and Arsenal for Tchouaméni. I think if he's got a brain, he will choose Liverpool, but he does have a bit of loyalty to United. He was a big Paul Pogba fan. Well, Paul Pogba's not going to be there next season. What he might, there's reports that he could stay, but unlikely. I really want Tchouaméni at United, but if we didn't get Tchouaméni, I think looking at the prices and looking at realistically and who's available, look, Declan Rice is brilliant, too expensive. Carbon Phillips will improve us, too expensive, overrated, overpriced. Neves, too inconsistent, a little bit overrated, but a good player, but no. Look at other players we've been linked to, like Tchouaméni, might not be possible. And that's why I would look at someone like Laimer from RB Leipzig and go, this is a realistic target that will improve us, that's not ridiculously expensive. And maybe Laimer, when you think about it, is probably one of the best options United can do. Big up David and big up Cavalcade. I think Kamara from Salzburg, Kamara from Salzburg, he will be fantastic. Not too familiar with him, but I did read out your comment earlier about the fullbacks being integral to Ten Hag's system. I thought that was a good comment. City will spend 300 million now. How much money have Man City got to spend to win the Champions League? That is the real question. How much more money have Man City got to spend to win the Champions League? I'm going to put in the chat 100 billion. That's how much more money Man City have got to spend before they win the Champions League. A little bit of banter. Alice, what about Tielemans? I like Tielemans. I think he's a good player. Because of Harry Maguire PTSD, I don't want to buy players from Leicester. I know that sounds silly. I don't like buying players from Leicester. That's my honest opinion. Tielemans is a good player, good proper replacement. I don't think he's been as good this season with Tielemans, but I would take him. He's an improvement. But yeah, he's not a CDM either. I just think when we need a specialist CDM so badly with Matic going, and look, whether you like Matic or not, when Matic plays and when Matic is fully fit, he makes a difference. Man United's best games of the season have had Matic in. Some of our worst games have had Matic in. What I mean is, when Matic plays, we can play a way that we can't play with McTominay. We can play a way we can't play with Fred. Matic is very integral. And if you look at the best periods Man United have had in the last 4 years, you know, we haven't won a trophy in the last 5 years, but if you look at the best periods, when Bruno just came in, and it was a Bruno, Fred, Matic midfield, and then it was a Matic, Pogba, Bruno midfield. You know, the best moments United had in the last 5 years was that run when Ollie first came in, and it was Herrera, Matic, Pogba, and we won so many games in a row when Ollie first came in and we looked balling. And then that post-COVID NHS Martial spell where it was Matic, Pogba, Bruno. You know, everything Man United have done good in the last 5 years, which isn't much. Matic has been integral to. And, you know, I think Tielemans is a good player, but he's a box. I think it's so crucial that we get that CDM. And that is why I'd love Declan Rice, too expensive. But that is why I know Tchouaméni can be more advanced. But that is why, you know, when I watched Tchouaméni play with Pogba, I'm not saying that Tchouaméni is like Matic, but he allowed Pogba to do what Matic has allowed Pogba to do. And I just think it's so integral that United get CDM in the summer, because I honestly think CDM is the most important position on a pitch, because Man City didn't play with CDM in the Champions League final, bottled it. Talking about Man City bottling Champions League final, what a night to bring that up. But yeah, I just think CDM is so integral, and I just think United to push for it. We're 60 likes away from 200 likes. Guys, I'd love to hit 200 likes by the end of this live stream. So please do smash that like button if you haven't already, because you know what? This is the Banter Man City live stream. And to smash that like button if you like Karim Benzema, that's all I'm saying. And prefer a quicker, more tenacious type than Tielemans, and not much defensively either. Again, I agree with you at there. Andrew, I want to talk about Chris. I've got some stats for you. One second, let me read out this. Timber, Tchouaméni, Lamptey, Neves, Nunes, and Anthony, all realistic signs that improve our squad. If we signed all of them at once, fuck me, I'd be happy. But I actually got some statistics here. So Nkunku. Now, Manchester United are in for Nkunku. It has been confirmed. United are in for Nkunku. 100% confirmed. United are in for Nkunku. Okay, that's the first bish bash bosh. Second bish bash bosh is, what am I saying bish bash bosh? I don't know. I mean, I'm just in an excited mood because, the Champions League's got me in an excited mood. Second thing is, what was I going to say? Now I forgot. Nkunku. I was talking about Nkunku. Nkunku wants the Premier League. United want Nkunku. That's been confirmed by reliable journalists. So Nkunku this season has played 48 games and he's played 3,800 minutes. So in 48 games, he's played 3,800 minutes. So he hasn't started all those games or played the full 90 in all of the games. To be in fact, Nkunku has played 44 games, and Nkunku has started 44 games. And in 44 starts, Nkunku has 31 goals and 20 assists. That is mad. I know Bundesliga tax and all of that, but he's got 51 goal contributions in 44 starts. That is an absolute madness. Now, look, he's 24. He is hitting his prime, but 31 goals and 20 assists this season for Nkunku. Those stats are crazy. And if you want me to break down those stats even more, in 6 Champions League games, he got 7 goals and 2 assists, which is absolutely mad. We know that Rashford got 7 goals in 6 Champions League games one season, but he played 500 minutes in the Champions League this season and averaged a goal every 76 minutes in the Champions League. He's been averaging a goal every 142 minutes in the Bundesliga as well. And look, obviously we saw Werner's stats didn't replicate it at Chelsea. Kai Havertz's stats couldn't replicate it at Chelsea. Jovic's stats couldn't replicate it at Real Madrid. And of course, Sancho's stats, he's not going to be able to replicate can't say that, you know what I mean, at United. But those stats, you have to be a good player to get those stats. Whether it's the Bundesliga or not, he is a good player. We've seen what he's done in the Champions League. We've seen what he's done for RB Leipzig. 51 goal contributions this season, 31 goals, 20 assists. Now, if you look at his sort of performance profile and all of that, he's quite a versatile player. Like looking over at Nkunku's stats and all that, he's played as a second striker a lot this season. He's also featured on the left a lot. He's played as an attacking midfielder. He's played on the right, attacking midfield, second striker, left midfield, right midfield, centre forward, second striker. He seems to predominantly play as a second striker or left or right. So this guy Nkunku can play on the right, he can play on the left, he can play as a second striker, and I think his adaptability will be quite good for Ten Hag's system. I think a player that's very versatile, very good team player that plays, RB Leipzig do play a modern attacking style of football. Ten Hag's philosophy is similar to RB Leipzig. RB Leipzig actually wanted Ten Hag, obviously, because Ten Hag would come in and it would suit their philosophy. RB Leipzig, they wanted Ten Hag. So I think that, Nkunku is definitely a player that, I'd be happy with. I don't want to be paying ridiculous money. I think that there is Bundesliga tax. 51 goal contributions and 44 starts is brilliant, but in the Premier League, that'll be 20 goal contributions, maybe, if you get what I mean. I think he's a fantastic player. He can play on the right. He can play as a second striker. I think that, and someone else said this to me, that Ronaldo can only play once a week. And I completely agree that Ronaldo can only play once a week. And I know that he isn't a so-called striker Nkunku or the so-called Ten Hag striker Nkunku, but United need to make sure there is another striker, because what I realised about Ronaldo is when was Ronaldo's worst period? February, March. Okay, Ronaldo was crap in February, March. And why was that? Because Greenwood had fucked off to jail, Martial had fucked off to Sevilla, and Cavani had fucked off to the boxing. So we had one striker, and that was Ronaldo. And Ronaldo had to play every single game. Okay, and Ronaldo was playing twice a week, almost 3 times in a 7-day period at one point. And you just weren't the same Ronaldo. We saw Ronaldo against Brentford, tracking back. We saw Ronaldo against Chelsea, marking Rashford's man. We saw the work that Ronaldo and energy Ronaldo put in the pressing Ronaldo put in those last few games. That's because Ronaldo, now he's playing once a week, gets the energy to do more than just score goals. He's been tracking back, he's been pressing, he's been marking, he's been involved in hold-up play, he's been involved in link-up play. Like, Ronaldo's been fucking brilliant since we got knocked out the Champions League, ironically. And that's because he's playing once a week. And next season, with Martial fucking off, we've been told that Martial will leave. With Cavani fucking off, and let's be real, Greenwood ain't coming back. Ronaldo will be only striker if he stays. So that is why someone like Christopher Nkunku, Darwin Núñez is integral, because at least with Christopher Nkunku, he'll still get game time when Ronaldo's playing because we can whip him on the right side or whip him as a second striker. But also when we rest Ronaldo for the Europa League games, and the good thing about being in the Europa League, and this is, I don't know if Ronaldo will stay to be in the Europa League, but the good thing about Man United being in the Europa League, okay, is you don't need to play Ronaldo. And when, you know, if we're playing in the Champions League, we're playing in the Premier League, you kind of have to play Ronaldo twice a week. And Ronaldo plays twice a week, he's not as good. If we're in the Europa League, then we're just saving Ronaldo for the Premier League. Giving Ronaldo that energy, saving him for the Premier League. And you can play the youth, you can play Nkunku, you can play Darwin Núñez, whoever we try on the striker. And, you know, I'm trying to look on the bright side of things. I'm trying to be a positive fan, and I'm trying to look at the positive of being in the Europa League next season. And that is, you know what, we've got some great youth coming through. We've got a new manager. I think it's going to be difficult for Ten Hag next season because there's going to be so many changes at Manchester United. I think it's going to be incredibly difficult for Ten Hag next season to incorporate players, incorporate the youth, change the club. That I think the positive about being in the Europa League is that it kind of gives us a bit of a break. It means, we don't have to play this player or this player. They can have a break, or we can give this player a chance. It takes the pressure off Ten Hag, and maybe for a first season with Ten Hag, being in the Europa League is better than being in the Champions League. Obviously, for recruitment and bringing the players we want, you want to be in the Champions League. But what I'm saying is maybe being in the Europa League. Ooh, this is fine. Fuck off. Maybe being in the Europa League is like a blessing in disguise. I know that sounds silly. I know that sounds stupid. But like, we're not going to win the Champions League. Like, I'd love to. I would fucking love to, but we're not. So at least when we're in the Europa League, we've got a trophy we can win. I say that, we keep fucking bottling it. But, you know, that's a trophy for Ten Hag as well. That's more realistic. Obviously, guys, I'm not saying I would rather be in the Europa League than the Champions League. That is not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is being in the Europa League is maybe not as bad as we think. That's my point as well. Alice, remember Mkhitaryan had goals and assists season after season in the German League. K2 Hassan was bust. Yeah, that's my only thing about signing players from the German League. Just spot on with that. Alex said Leeds will never allow their players to join Manchester United. Just fucking flies pissing me off. And I agree, and I don't think Calvin Phillips will want to come, to be fair. Will City break the bank for Haaland now? They were going to anyway, but I think they'll still get Haaland. I think Haaland is the main one as well, and that is why good players like Rafinha or Phillips will not leave Leeds to join us. I don't think. I've been told that even though United are interested in Calvin Phillips, and even though our interest in Calvin Phillips is legit, Calvin Phillips don't want to come to United. Even if Leeds get relegated, we might get Calvin Phillips. I only think we'll get Calvin Phillips if Leeds get relegated, because Calvin Phillips doesn't want to come to United. But if he's going to be if it's the Championship or United, I think he'd choose United. If it's one more season at Leeds to get the move he wants, I think he would choose Leeds. Calvin Phillips is Leeds through and through. Guys, please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new, by the way. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more, please do subscribe to my channel. It would be really, really appreciated. I am 22 subscribers away from 34.5k. I need 22 more people to subscribe to 34.5k. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, as it will be appreciated. But yes, hit that subscribe button as well if you're not subscribed. What's my thoughts on Kulusevski? Wasn't too familiar with him before he came to Spurs, but it's really, really impressed me. Keep Ronaldo, play Bruno up front as a backup and save other positions. I think, okay, with Bruno, when we played Bruno as a false nine, shite. But with Nkunku, he could play as a second striker. And when Bruno played up top with Ronaldo at Portugal, it was quite good. So maybe trying Bruno and Nkunku as second strikers would be good. And maybe even shipping Bruno to the wing, as we did against Brentford, worked out to be quite effective as well. Please keep hitting that like button. Please keep subscribing down below. We want to hit 250 likes. I know that's quite mad because we haven't got 250 people watching. But just hit the like button for banter to Man City. Hannibal's a young matter. Yeah, but I think he's more defensively disciplined. But yeah. Man, you should play in the Europa League, going for long travels, can't play a stunner or near travels. China there in the Conference League, I think they could play. Yeah, they will probably have some distance games. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the names there, Steve. But I do like the Europa League. I'm excited for West Ham for tomorrow. Like, people will like joke about the Europa League and all that. I like the Europa League, and I hope West Ham win it. If West Ham can get a comeback versus Frankfurt, that would be sick as well. What if with all the recruitment, United doesn't win a trophy next year, but they qualify for the UCL? Would that be a successful season? Exactly. I've always said next season, for me, next season, it doesn't matter if we get top four. Okay, like top four isn't important next season. Okay, Winning a trophy is important next season. And you might be like, what? So no top 4 for another season, not winning a trophy for another season. Why is Alice talking shit again? You might be thinking that. But this is Ten Hag's first season at United. There's a big change going on. This is the biggest change that's happened since Sir Alex. Because with all the other managers, it's just the manager that's changed. The whole of United seemed to be changing. Rangnick's in, Judge is out, Woodward's out. United are going through their biggest change in years. This is likely to be our busiest transfer window in years. 5 players are definitely leaving on free. Another 5 players are set to be sold, with even players like Wan-Bissaka and Rashford rumoured to go. There could be 12, 15. There could be between 10 and 15 players leaving Manchester United this summer. You know, there could be 5, 6, 7 players coming in. We might get a few cheap hidden gems that Ten Hag are aware of. You know, this is going to be Man United's busiest transfer window in years. It's the biggest change the club has ever had, with Woodward and Judge finally going, fuck off Woodward. You know, it's a massive change for United. And Klopp came into Liverpool, got 7th. Okay, Pep came into City, only just got top 4 because us bottling it and goal difference and that. We literally tossed away top 4. Didn't we lose to like West Ham at the final game at Upton Park to give City top 4 or something like that? Madness. We did win the FA Cup though. You know, Klopp and Pep weren't good in their first season. It's not about winning a trophy. It's not about getting top 4. It's about Ten Hag changing the club, changing the dressing room, changing the attitude, changing the mentality. That Ten Hag getting used to the league, learning the league, but it's also about the players learning Ten Hag's style of play. These players have struggled to adapt to Rangnick's style of play. These players have really struggled to adapt to Rangnick's style of play because Rangnick's style of play is so different to Ollie. You know, these players under Ollie had it easy. You know, Man United, out of all the teams, we finished 2nd last season, but I think we were 3rd last for distance covered. You know, United don't run. They don't play this positive attacking football, this modern football that Ten Hag wants to instill. United just sort of lounge around. We say Jogpa for a reason, but it's not just Jogpa. It's the whole squad. We're Jog FC, we're Walk FC. We have been for a while. And, you know, it's going to be a big change for these players. And, you know, some of these players, they might not have a good first season, but they might have a really good second season under Ten Hag as well. It's like, I think with Rashford and Maguire, if they have another poor season, they've got to be out the door for me. But I think, you know, with some other players, I could be leaning if they had a poor season to an extent. To an extent, I will say. Because it's going to be such a massive change at United. Manager, I did a video this morning, you know, 5 things that will change under Ten Hag. It's going to be the dressing room changing, the board changing, the style of football changing, the players changing, the mentality changing, the training room changing. Not just are we changing the manager, but whole new coaches in, whole new backroom staff, whole new, you know, Eric Ten Hag's assistants will be new, whole new management team, whole new technical view, whole new style, whole new recruitment, whole new players, whole new everything. That I think saying winning the trophy and getting top 4 is not about that next season. It's about adapting. And the following season, it's about top 4 trophy. The first season is about adapting, improving. You know, Klopp came 7th. Pep just got top 4 by the skin of his teeth. Second season is about pushing on, getting top 4, making sure there is progress from that first to second season, and maybe going for a trophy like an FA Cup. You know, you look at Arteta, he's probably going to get top 4 because Spurs have Liverpool. You know, we were saying Arteta out, Arteta shit. Arteta's half season 8th, his second season 8th. You know, Arsenal have kept with Arteta, and you can see a real line of progress with Mikel Arteta. I know I like to banter Arsenal that, but you can actually really see what Mikel Arteta is trying to do with Arsenal, and you can see that Arsenal have progressed. And I think with Ten Hag, first season getting used to it, second season is about seeing progress. And, you know, Arsenal sticking with Arteta's worked out, and I think that's how we've got to be with Ten Hag as well. Make sure you hit that like button if you have not already. I'm expecting many leaks at the beginning of next season. I'm hoping the leaks will stop next season. I will say, with Jesse Lingard going, with Eric Bailly going, you know, Ralf Rangnick has gone obviously to the board, and this is what's come out allegedly, I think, by Steve Bates, and this big article by Steve Bates. But Ralf Rangnick is basically, you know, we know Ralf Rangnick's been slagging off the players to the board. We know Ralf Rangnick has gone to Murta, Fletcher and Arnold and said, this player ain't listening to my instructions, this player ain't trying. There was a big report that broke out that Rangnick is fuming that players were not listening to his instructions, players were not trying, and all of that. And it came out that basically in a leaked report, Leak FC, that basically for the first time ever, really, Arnold, Murta and Fletcher all agree with Rangnick that some of these players need to go. And if any of these players are not interested in listening to Ten Hag's, if any of these players are not interested in Ten Hag's style, Ten Hag's vision, then they can go. And this could be the first transfer winner in a while where we'll really be getting some players to absolutely fuck off and some of the troublemakers to fuck off. And I think United are very clear about changing up the act of some of those players. You know, that the first thing Ten Hag wants to address when he comes to Manchester United is the dressing room issues. Ten Hag wants to change the whole personnel and mentality of the dressing room. He wants to change that. He wants to get a more positive dressing room in, and we know that from various reports. And I think United are really serious about trying to get rid of those bad eggs. United want to get rid of those bad eggs. So I actually think that maybe next season there might not be dressing room reports if we actually get rid of the likes of Bailly and Lingard. Well, Lingard will definitely go. We know that. And the problem is, and one of the reasons we have so many dressing room reports is because we've kept so many players here against their will. The Athletic literally reported 3 days ago, and the Athletic are absolutely spot on about everything. The Athletic is brilliant. The Athletic reported 3 days ago that that Matt Judge and Ed Woodward would do contracts to increase their resale value. The reason we gave Phil Jones a new contract was to increase his resale value. We can't even sell him. The reason we gave Eric Bailly a new contract was to increase his resale value while he sits on the bench. And, keeping Lingard against his will, keeping Pogba against his will, keeping Bailly and giving him a new contract, giving Phil Jones a new contract to not play them. And the only reason behind Jones's new contract, the only reason behind Bailly's new contract was because the board thought they could get more money for them, because it was all about commercial. The priority for giving out those new contracts, the priority for keeping players at Man United that didn't want to be here was about commercial gain. And under Woodward, under Judge, our whole focus was on commercial gain. What's the commercial gain going to be if we do this? We weren't thinking about what's best for this football team. Because for 8-9 years post Fergie, we've been thinking about what's best for the finances, what's best for the commercial side of things. And that is why we've had so many dressing room problems, because we've forced players to stay. We've stopped deals at the last minute. Deals have crashed at the last minute. We've given players new contracts that we know we're not going to play because they're worth more. And next season, RANGNICK has gone and bitched about it. RANGNICK's bitched about it at his press conferences. And I solely believe that that is going to change at Manchester United next season. RANGNICK is going to help enforce that change, and that Manchester United want to do things differently next season. I solely believe that there's going to be less dressing reports this season if we do sell and get rid of those players. Only players I would give a chance to is Bruno and Sancho that drop the rest regardless. There's Manchester United only. And do you think the Glazers will be here in the next 10 years, Alice? Unfortunately, I think they will be. And we're only 20 likes away from 200 likes, guys, so please do hit that like button if you haven't already. Lingard to Newcastle. Lingard can go wherever he wants. West Ham, Newcastle on a free. We'll have to wait and see where he goes. I think it will be West Ham or Newcastle, but there's links that Juventus, AC Milan are all interested as well. Guys, we're 18 subscribers away from 34.5k. So if you're watching right now and you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We really appreciate it. I will be back live tomorrow night for some more Manchester United news and transfer news updates. So do make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And also, I will be live Friday night for Manchester United Brighton match preview, and I will be live Saturday night for Manchester United versus Brighton watch along, followed by match reaction. So I go live every single evening on the Alice Talks Football channel, keeping you up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news updates, and more. So if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. It'd be really, really appreciated. Hit that like button as well. We're only 18 subscribers away from 34.5k. Carrying on with all of that, carrying on with other stories. Huge issue was Woodward's ego. He tried to do and control too much. Meanwhile, he had no clue. I absolutely agree. The reason that we refused to sell players is because it would make Woodward look bad. I fully believe this is the reason. Manchester United spent 80 million on Maguire. And Woodward didn't want to lose face that he spent 80 million on another failed transfer. Woodward didn't want to lose face. Woodward didn't want to lose his ego that he spent 80 million on another failed transfer. That basically we were forced to give Maguire captaincy and play him every game. Because in Woodward's mind, if Maguire's Manchester United captain, if the club do everything they can to protect him, if we do Maguire's PR for him, his social media for him, Woodward generally believed if we play Maguire week in, week out, we tell Ollie we can't drop him, we give Maguire captaincy, we do his PR for him, he won't be considered a flop. That's what Woodward believed. He thought he's not worth 80 million, but let's do this to make people think that Harry Maguire's worth 80 million, and that's because Woodward's ego. Funny how we overpay and undersell. I know. Hopefully that's going to change now. We've got more. Well, I say more brainy people. Darren Fletcher, more intelligent minds involved in the transfer process. De Gea or Ronaldo captain next season. If Ronaldo stays, I think it will go to Ronaldo. If not De Gea, there's rumours that it could go to Scott McTominay. Look, I think Scott McTominay has got captain mentality. I just don't know if Scott McTominay has the ability to beat United. He's not proven it this season. And if Ten Hag fails to deliver in the next 3 years, will you stop supporting United? I'll never stop supporting United. We could be in League 2. I'll never stop supporting United. It's my club, and it will always be my club. There's times where I wish I didn't support us, but I just feel like I could never. Like, I'll still care about this club, even if I try and stop United. I don't think that I could. And also, refuse to undersell. Yeah, you're right with that as well. Alice, what's your opinion on Phillips' talks? United are interested in Phillips. Phillips won't kind of necessarily to get relegated. I don't think he wants us. We should keep McFred. They would be good bench players. Yeah, I have no issue with McFred on the bench. I have no issue with Fred playing with Matic. I have no issue with McTominay playing with Pogba. I don't like McTominay and Fred together on the same pitch. I think they're too similar. They don't actually complement each other. I like them as bench players. I like them on their own. That's how I feel about McFred as well. Alice, It was a false second last season. Liverpool had horrible injuries and Chelsea switched gaffers mid-season. I agree it was a bit of a false second as well. I think we've really seen that this season. The difference between Liverpool this and last season, it just says it all really. Where we were ahead of Liverpool last season, they're miles ahead of us this season. Just fucking, you can't, I don't know if you can see it, but there's this fly. No, it keeps giving me the creeps. Erik ten Hag will need 2 years. Exactly. Erik ten Hag, first season is adapting. Second season is, can we see progress? Third season is, you've got to do something in your third season. Fourth season, if he's not done anything, bish bash out. As well. And once you support a team, you stand by it. I meant Man United should play kids in the European League run into domestic games. I absolutely agree. Spot on as well. And United captain should be one of the top performers. Scott, it's not that. I agree. And I think one of the reasons why, and I think that's a big problem with Maguire, because Maguire hasn't been one of the top performers this season. A lot of the squad have lost their respect for Harry Maguire. And as a captain, especially when the club morale is this low, you need the respect of the players, you need the respect of the teammates. And Maguire's putting in stinker after stinker after stinker. You're sitting there looking at Harry Maguire thinking, who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? You're fucking shit. That's what they're probably thinking, And I think, Scott McTominay, he's got great mentality. I'm not gonna fault him on that. He knows the club, but he's not performed well enough on the pitch to warrant being captain. If McTominay's putting in ghosting after ghosting, 7 passes versus Arsenal, touches the ball, 3 passes in the second half versus fucking Chelsea, then you can't be captain. He doesn't warrant that. And it's like, again, I like McTominay's mentality. I think he's a good guy, but he's not been a player that I've gone, oh, you're good. You need to be involved in Ten Hag's rebuild. Frankly, I just think bench player, right mindset, don't mind him around, bench player, shouldn't be starting week in, week out. That's how I feel about Scott McTominay. He's just, that kind of player for me shouldn't be captain. We wouldn't be giving captaincy to Darren Fletcher back in the day. We don't need to be giving it to someone like Scott McTominay. I think it needs to be Ronaldo or De Gea. Ronaldo and De Gea, for me, are the only players that warrant it. I wouldn't be too annoyed if Bruno or Varane got it because they are good players and they do have that captain mentality. It's about, for me, the captaincy is not only about being good enough this season, but having the mentality. I think Fred's had a good season. I can't see him as a captain. I think Sancho's a good player. I just can't see him as a captain. You get what I mean? It's also about mentality as well as ability, and I think we can all agree on that as well. I spy, yeah. The fly must be a Man City fan. And yeah, I've done all this bantering for Man City, and they've just gone, piss off, Alice, shut up, Alice, you fucking bitch. That's what the fly's been thinking. And he should have never been given the captain. I mean, the fact that Maguire was only at the club 6 months and was given captain's armband, he doesn't know the club. If Maguire knew the club, then he wouldn't be performing the way he probably would. But to give captain's armband to a player that's been here 6 months is crazy. I think you have to be here a season and a half to get the captain's armband, or a season. You have to know the club. I just think 6 months, yeah, let's give captaincy to Maguire. It just made no sense to me whatsoever, and it just sums up Ollie, doesn't it? I'm not trying to be mean to Ollie, but 6 months, 6 fucking months, and then Maguire gets captaincy. Erik ten Hag needs time, I understand, but will be a must to see our game mentally change. Otherwise, we'll be doing Ollie 2.0. I agree. And Bruno should be starting each game. Shouldn't be starting each game next season. Bruno should be dropped if he continues how he's doing. But he wasn't too bad versus Brentford. I think everyone was all right versus Brentford. I think Delo and McTominay were the only ones that were a bit meh versus Brentford. Ten Hag needs time to understand, but will be a must to see our game and mentality change. Otherwise, yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah, this is the thing about Ten Hag. It's not about getting top 4. It's not about winning trophies, but it's about seeing that mentality change at Manchester United, seeing that slow and subtle improvement at Manchester United as well. And Man City will never be better than United. Man City will never get their hands on a Champions League. Banter club. I'm obviously joking. We are the banter club. But yeah, and people mocked Henderson as Liverpool captain when he first got the role at Liverpool, but maybe McTominay could be the same. Yeah, but I think Henderson's always been a better player than McTominay. But I do get your point. You do make a good point there. And only this season, Maguire played like a clown. You know what? This is the thing. Next season, maybe with Maguire, he just needs the season to end because he's not that bad of a centre-back. Like, he's been good for England. He was good. He was our best centre-back last season. Maybe next season, when it's a fresh season, better coaching, and Maguire might have a good season. You never know. I think that he's not part of the long-term plan. I just don't think he's that. I don't actually think Maguire's that bad. He's been fucking dreadful this season. Needs to be dropped. I don't care if we sell him. But what I mean is, even when we haven't played with Maguire, we've still been shit defensively. Like, I think Varane and Lindelof is 100% United's best centre-back pairing. We can play more expansively. We can play better football with them. But let's not act like even when Maguire hasn't been there, we've been good at the back, because we haven't. We've had 1 or 2 good games at the back without Maguire, but not consistently good. And I think there's a big problem with defensive coaching. And I think Maguire, because he's captain, you're going to put more blame on him because he has a high responsibility, £80 million. Of course, Maguire's going to be the scapegoat, but I always feel like this, Maguire could come good next season. I do have a feeling that Maguire could come good next season. But obviously, we'd have to wait and see. We have to wait and see as well. Will Ten Hag give Tuanzebe and Mengi a chance to centre-back? Maybe, but Tuanzebe's loan doesn't work well. But Mengi could be one to go through. But I think Mengi would need a loan because I think in the Premier League, and I think being a defender, I think being a centre-back is the hardest to break through. The majority of centre-backs have loans and then they break through, whereas attackers and midfielders can break through right away. But potentially, I think maybe in the Europa League, Mengi did play a little bit in the Europa League last season. Varane will play better next season, I agree, and hopefully he can stay fit. I think, Ollie actually didn't help with Varane's injury. Varane obviously had an issue, and I remember Ollie rushing Varane back for that Spurs game, and then he got injured again. So maybe Varane's got an underlying issue that we can work on as well. And this year, the best Man United played all this year was against Brentford, yeah. And took last home game of the season for United to actually play well as well. Season's made me depressed. I mean, look, you've had a shit season when the highlight of our season has been today. Real Madrid knocking Man City out the UCL. Like, there's no other way to say you've had a shit season other than, oh my God, we are literally celebrating. I was literally, when there was the penalty, I was like, yeah! I'm celebrating like Man United that won a semi-final tonight because Real Madrid won. That's sad, isn't it? It is a bit sad. Like, it's nice to enjoy your rivals, but it is a bit sad. And it's like, United have got me down this low that things like that is just the enjoyment. I think, you know what? There's always the saying, when you're at your lowest, the highs feel better. It's not that sort of saying, but there's always that kind of saying where, like, when you're really low, you appreciate the highs. And when we're really low at United this season, the highs of City getting knocked out the Champions League are like, yeah, if United winning the Premier League, we just be like, lol, cool, ha. But we're celebrating it because we've been so low that the high is the freaking high this season, I think, as well. But I have been attacked by a fly. Angu said Mengi and Timber would be the same age, and the Championship physicality is arguably higher. The difference is Champions League experience. Yeah, I agree. Guys, look, I am going to wrap up today's live stream. We have been live for over an hour, and it's very late, and I'm up in like 7 hours. Oh, look at this lighting. It's disgusting, isn't it? It's just a flickering. But I'm going to end the live stream here. So if you're not subscribed, do subscribe, because I will be back tomorrow for another live stream. So if I didn't answer your live chat and you're not subscribed, subscribe, post notifications on. I will be live tomorrow. So I think I'll be live either tomorrow at 7 p.m. before the West Ham game, 6:30, 7 p.m. before the West Ham game, or I will be live maybe like 9 p.m. During or half-time of the West Ham game. So do make sure to subscribe and post notifications on so you know when I'm live, but I will be live tomorrow evening. There might be a video out at midday tomorrow. I haven't really decided. It's just what news is relevant. I have a video coming out about 10 potential lineups, and I have another video scheduled to come out next week, like I've already pre-recorded now. But I don't know if there'll be a video out tomorrow, so you have to stay tuned for that. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today's live stream. I'll see you back tomorrow. Bye, Z.